Welcome to another episode of Everyday Amazing. I'm your host, Guy Alton. I'm sure you guys are all wondering what that was about and why I tried to come out looking all slick and handsome. Well, if you don't know, this is actually Sac Fashion Week. It's the 20th anniversary of Sac Fashion Week. We do it every year here in Sacramento, and that tells you a little bit about who we're gonna have on the show. Her name is Brijhe Pointer, and she's a phenomenal model. But don't let me just tell you about it. Let me show you a little bit about her. Take a look. Don't go anywhere. Brijhe Pointer is going to show me how to pose. Who knows, I might even be in Sac Fashion Week. Stay tuned.
Everyday Amazing with Sky Alton.
Hi, my name is Sky Alton, host of Everyday Amazing with Sky Alton. And this episode is powered by thegreengiantdelivery.com. Log on for all your cannabis needs. That's thegreengiantdelivery.com.
Everyday Amazing with Sky Alton.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome amazing model Brijhe Pointer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
First off, you look stunning.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your start into the modeling industry.
So I actually started in the pandemic, which was 2021. It was just me and my dog in my apartment. I was like, seen a casting call and I was like, let's just go for it. Let's see what happens. I ended up getting casted, and then I walked in that show and I got another casting call for the next day. And so I went to that casting call knowing nothing really about modeling. I didn't even bring heels. Came dressed in like a tie-dye shirt and orange shirts, just not really prepared, I guess, to what I know now. I guess I wasn't. And yeah, that was kind of my start. From there, kind of fell in love with it, kept practicing to get better, and now I'm just trying to stay busy, booked and busy. And
you definitely are staying busy, and we're going to talk more about that. But I kind of want to circle back. You said you started, was it pre-pandemic or was it like during?
Like kind of pre-pandemic.
Okay,
so
that makes more
2021,
sense. Okay.
like September, there was a casting call, and then just kind of started from there. Yeah.
Okay. So when you say, as you got more experience, you started to practice, how does one practice to get better in runway?
Putting on your heels.
Okay.
Turning on some music and just getting to it. You can find a lot of, I think I would encourage any aspiring model out there to do research on and figure out who your favorite model is, what you like about them, and kind of tune into what's specific about them that you like. Do you like the way that they kind of look like they're galloping when they walk? Do you like the hip switch? Do you like the poses? And just kind of tune into that, study, and put your heels on, put on some music, and get to it. Okay. That's pretty much it. You guys got to work and gain your self-confidence to that level to bring it out in front of people and bring a designer's ideas to life, you know?
So tell me a little bit about who your favorite model is and why.
I would say Naomi Campbell. I'm doing more model research right now just to find something a little bit more like me. I would also say Whitley is another good one that I really enjoy just because of their cadence on that stage and their poses that really stand out on a magazine cover in different ways. And yeah, so I definitely aspire to be like that.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about how that first show went. I know you said, for the casting you weren't prepared. It was all a new experience to you. But did you ever get nervous when you were walking out there, or did you just get out there and be like, hey, it's too late now, so why get nervous?
Definitely, the nerves definitely kick in.
Okay.
Even now, I can kind of always point out when a model's nervous, because I used to do those same kind of tendencies, like kind of play with your hair is one of the things that's a tell. And in my first fashion show, my hand was all in my hair just because I didn't know what else to really do to bring. You know, when you're on the runway, you want to bring the garment to life. You want to figure out what stands out in the garment so that designer can sell those items because you did such a good job on the runway, right? So, yeah, I think nerves definitely do kick in, and you just gotta rock through it. Like, it's like that video of what Rihanna said, like, even if you don't have the confidence, just break through that. You know, don't let that stop you, because it's a job and you want to do a good job, I guess is the best way to say that. Bring those garments to life, and it's only for a second out there, you know, just do your thing, look at the camera so you get those good pictures, pretend the audience. It's your showcase. It's your show when you're on that runway, so just bring that garment to life.
See, I love everything you're saying right now, because notice that, like, everything you're saying is about bringing a garment to life, right? And really showcasing that garment so that designer can make sales, right? And I think that's very important to really hit home with, because I feel like a lot of people, when they're starting out to want to be a model, they tend to always think that, like, it's about them, right? And like, oh, like, I look pretty and I want to, like, make sure that I look good. And of course you want to look good, but the idea though is the people are there to see the garment. They're not necessarily there to see you. And so the fact that you're like, everything you're saying is like, hey, I'm there to showcase this designer's, like, vision and this designer's, like, image, and I am, you know, the muse for that. I think that's very important. So at what point did you really start to, like, learn that and embody that, or did you already kind of, like, know that when you started?
No, it was definitely through some model coaching that kind of made more sense of thinking of myself as kind of like a coat hanger for the garment down the runway. And even what you were just saying kind of made me, brought back what I was reflecting on when I was coming back from New York, but being okay with no's in the industry, because it just means that you don't have to look for that designer at that time. It doesn't mean that they're not going to come out with another collection or another thing and you might have the perfect look, or that they might want to use you in a photo shoot or something. So it's just really finding your niche in it. And I kind of forgot where we were going with this, like what the original question was, but I know I got on a tangent there.
No. we were talking about how, like I said, it's with everything you were saying is you're saying all the right things, and how it should be about the designer selling clothes and it's about the garment. And like you just said right now, it's like, oh, I think of myself as like a coat hanger for the clothes, and I'm there. Yes, I want to make the clothes look good, but it's not. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, everything you're saying is how I feel like when you first start in the industry, or maybe not when you first start because you need to learn it, but the more experienced models start to learn that I am the muse for this designer and I'm not trying to outstage the designer.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not trying to look so good to where they forget about the clothes, right? Because if you do that, then they don't sell any clothes and they may not call you back anyway.
Right. So yeah, definitely through model coaching and just learning in the industry. Like, I kind of think of myself as a blank canvas. I just want to take in as much as I can and learn from as many people as I can. So I found a few models that, you know, are even in the SAC area that I look up to and, you know, I'm a fan of. Yeah, it's just through practice, through research, through putting on your heels and getting out there and doing it. Yeah.
Putting on your heels and getting out there.
Going for it.
Now, since you say that, we actually have a few pictures that I want to kind of pull up and you can kind of speak to it.
Okay.
We have the first picture. Tell me a little bit about this event.
So this was just in New York Fashion Week. It was a very different look than what I am used to. So I kind of was already running late to call time, and she wanted my hair slicked back. I knew that much, but then she wanted to keep the look under wraps, so she did not want to tell us what we were getting done to us, and it was driving me crazy. Like at casting calls, I was mentioning, I was like, I don't know why she wants to keep it a secret from the models, but it was different, and I understood like her vision. If you could see the whole collection of what that is, I'll show you after this, but it was all very different. I might not be posting those, so that might be the only time that they see them. But it was just different, and I think oh yeah, this is from a different shoot. So I actually styled myself for this one.
Really?
And they had different garments for us to also incorporate and use. This was through Portrait Slam, which is a great event. I recommend all models go through them. You know, it's a link up between models and photographers, so you're paired up together at a location for a good time, like maybe like 5-10 minutes to get some pictures, and I ended up getting really good content from that. So that's actually published in a magazine, so
Wow.
I'm gonna end up including that in my portfolio.
I was getting a little bit of Sasha Fierce with that, with that style. So
Yeah.
was this also New York Fashion Week?
This was New York Fashion Week, so this is for EBN jewelry. I was trying to hit my little jewelry pose so that they can hopefully use it in some type of way outside of just the fashion show, so maybe on their website of some sort. But definitely had a lot of fun in New York. That was an experience.
So everything you're saying, I feel like are all things that a good model should say this. And I know people are wondering, like, how does he know? Well, I don't talk about it much, but I actually got my start before I was a amazing, good-looking TV host. I got my start as a young model, and I had to learn real fast. Like, for me, I felt like since I was a theater arts major, transferring to modeling wasn't that difficult. I mean, the walking part and stuff like that, obviously those things you have to learn, but the confidence part, I didn't really have to have too much trouble with, because when you do theater arts, you're already on stage being judged, right? And there's nothing you can do about it, right? Like, people are there to see a show, and their faces are gonna let you know how you're doing or not. And no matter how their faces look, you still gotta perform, right? And so with modeling, it wasn't that much different, right? Because again, like, it's not about you, it's about the performance. And with modeling, same thing, it's about like the designer's clothes. But the things that you're saying, even how you're thinking about outside of the runway, and if a designer can use this picture on their website and stuff like that, I think that's all great things that you are already like thinking about. And you've only been modeling for what, like 4 years now?
Yeah.
And so I just think that's like amazing. Something I want to ask you, so you mentioned a little bit about handling, you got to have tough skin obviously in this industry. So tell me a little bit about a time where you maybe you wanted to show and you didn't get into the show, maybe you were told no, and how did you handle that, and like what did that feel like?
Being told no is kind of what comes with being in this industry. Unfortunately, you do have to be okay with the no's. A more recent no, I actually went to 3 casting calls in one day in New York just recently, and it was crazy. My feet were tired, and I believe the middle one, it was a no. And it was just understanding, because it's a different thing. Like, out here, you can walk by yourself and just showcase just yourself. Out there, because there's so many models in line, you have to walk in 2s and 3s. Wow. So it's like you have to stand out in that little short time period, or really have the look that the designer is going for. But it's a part of what, it's just, you got to shake it off. You just got to shake it off. And maybe if you can, I would say attend those fashion shows if you are told no, so that you can see what they are casting for, what they are looking for. Is it, oh, okay, they wanted to see a twirl of some sort because they all have long ball gowns, so they wanted to see that. Or is it more the longer poses at the end? Did they not want long poses at the end? Did they just want more of a catwalk, which is a continuous walk? So it's just tuning into the game. Like, you really do get in you get out of this industry what you put in, and you do have to put in this industry. You do have to put in the work and the footwork and following other like-minded people who are going to post maybe the casting calls that you didn't hear about, or show you new opportunities, or get you on new gigs of some sort. So it really is a networking industry for sure.
For sure. But I like that you said that, like it is work, you know, so you're basically telling people, hey, forget all the stereotypes you hear out there that models don't work and it's just about looking pretty. It is a lot of work, you know, and it's like, posing is not as easy as people may think it is. And like I said, sometimes you can speak to this. You may do a shoot and you may be there for hours.
Yeah, every shoots, fashion shows, casting calls, you're there for hours at a time.
And when they say go, you still have to look good. You still have to have that same energy. I'm pretty sure you hear this all the time. Smile with your eyes, you know? And so you've been there for like 6 hours or whatever, and on that 6th hour, they still want you to smile with your eyes as if you just showed up that first hour.
Yes.
You know, we're gonna talk more about, you know, your career and maybe some upcoming projects, but before we do that, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back after these messages.
Everyday amazing with Sky Alton.
Hi, my name's Jack Sputtle,
And I'm Dwayne Ram, and we're with DMR Productions.
and you're watching Everyday Amazing with Sky Alton.
Everyday amazing with Sky Alton.
Welcome back to the show. I am still here with the amazing, stunning model, Brijhe Pointer. Brijhe, before we went to break, we were diving really into like what it takes to be, you know, this stunning model that I definitely think that you are, and I definitely think you are going to be one of the next top models in the next couple of years. With that being said, I know you've done a lot of shows so far for, you know, the 4 years you've been in the industry. Do you have a favorite runway show? And if so, why?
I would say I really like watching like Rihanna's fashion shows. They're like a performance and a show all together. Another show I kind of watch to grow from, which is really different, is RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
I know that that's kind of different to watch, I guess, as a female model, but I'm like, if these men can strut and walk and do their shizness on the runways and beat down their face, then like that's something I can learn from, because I wasn't wearing makeup in high school like that. I basically had to learn how to do my own hair and makeup from being in this industry and it not always being guaranteed. So definitely RuPaul's Drag Race, of course America's Next Top Model. Haven't rewatched that in a while, but those are some of my favorites.
Your favorites. Now, as far as runway shows that you've done so far, you know, do you have a favorite that you've done, or?
I'm actually currently filming a TV show called The West Coast Top Models.
Okay.
It's coming out on Royal K Network. And we have an upcoming, we're actually almost done filming, so we have an upcoming fashion show February 22nd that I'm kind of looking forward to and can't wait. So, yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
it's been different. It's a competition. We're competing for a crown, so we'll see who ends up winning.
Okay.
Hopefully,
we'll have to tune in, right?
Yeah, definitely have to tune in and see.
Now, talk to me, since you mentioned it's a competition, is it true what they say about there's no friends in the industry of modeling because it's such a competitive like field, especially for women? What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely have friends that I've made in the industry and that I've gained in this industry as well. It's like what I was kind of speaking to earlier. I have a specific look, you have a specific look. Either designer has an outfit for you and I, or he just has an outfit for one of us, and he has the decision on who that is at the end of the day. So I don't consider it, it's more like friendly competition, like we all want to do good on the runway, we all want to get bomb pictures back, of course, to promote ourselves and what we can do and showcase. But yeah, I think that's...
I like that. Basically, you're saying there's room for all of us to eat. I like that. Now, so you being a woman of color and a model, tell me a little bit about, your experience there and like what that's been like, because sometimes we hear stories. We've even had like famous models like Tyra Banks be very vocal about like her experiences and how difficult it was when she first started to get where she got. But do you think, in your experience or whatever, how has that been?
It's been on and off. I can't really say that's. I don't always put it to race or any. I put it to, did I perform at my best in that moment? Because in this industry, we are also our biggest self-critics. We criticize ourselves to the T. I do anyways. I can speak for myself.
You're basically saying that you don't let that like stop you, right? So if you don't get picked for something, then you kind of take it as like, what could I have done better? And I think that's an amazing mindset to have, because you're only gonna like grow and get better with that. But we do hear stories about like certain models saying that they don't get picked as much, or they don't have the same opportunities. I think it's more the opportunities as like some of like the other models. And so I was just wondering like, if you could, if you've seen anything like that, or... Yeah,
I mean, for myself, I can say I have a very different look. I look very mixed. A lot of people don't know what I am, or they consider me Asian a lot of the times, or Pacific Islander. I hear a lot. So I think as far as that, I don't experience that as much, but I do think for other models, it's important to like go back to your catalog and see who does book you. Is it the swimsuits that you get booked for a lot? Is it the outerwear that you get booked for a lot? Is it just casual wear? And tuning more into designers like that. For myself, I actually just went through my own catalog, and a lot of who books me in these bigger shows are Pakistani or Arabic background designers, and I'm now trying to find new ways to tune into that, because they feel like I have the look to showcase their design. So I'm appreciative of that. It's a privilege to be able to be put in that position, and I'm just trying to put myself in more positions.
I like that. I like that. It's like knowing your audience too.
Exactly. So knowing your audience, knowing your body, knowing what looks good on you, what you can showcase, and tuning into that and finding the opportunities that give you access to showcase yourself in your best light in that way.
I like that. I like that. So my next question, what do you think, obviously social media it's a big part of our lives, and from a model standpoint, do you feel like social media is one of the best ways to advocate for yourself? Because nowadays, like back in the day before social media, right? Like models just had to go out there constantly, like put in the work, going to casting after casting. You spoke to it a little bit. But now, sometimes, I'm not saying that you still have to do castings, but I'm hearing that social media is helping a lot of women get booked just based off like, following and also just, pictures and stuff like that. So do you feel like social media is a big part of like your presence in your career, or is it more so long as you're out there going to the castings, that's what's going to get you, the jobs?
Yeah, so a little bit of both. So it is, social media is, content creating is like a whole new job for everyone. There's money in it, it's something new. So I do think everyone should capitalize on that and getting themselves out there and growing your professional dashboard in different ways. So you can get more of the audience that you want. Like since I've been posting some of the pictures that we looked at, I've been getting more designers interested in wanting to work with me, or videographers and just different things following me. So I think it's that, and it is also going to the casting calls and getting out there and networking with the designers, with the production teams, because you don't know what other fashion shows they'll be putting on, and if you can get a last minute spot sometimes, or be on hold for a fashion show as well. So I think it is a little bit of both, but social media definitely is a great way to get booked, a great way to showcase yourself, your talents. And another thing that dinged is making sure you get quality photos.
Okay.
Because if my portfolio is filled with pictures of maybe like trade for print or not from like a professional camera, then I'm not showcasing myself in the best light. And I know a lot of times in this industry, a lot of models, we choose to do that trade for print just to get the content back, but not all content is good content. And if you want to actually grow professionally in the industry, you should focus on getting those professional pictures. I know it's a big investment because photographers charge an arm and a leg, but it's like you can get booked while you're in bed off of that one quality picture. If you're sending it to the right people and you can definitely get booked while you're in bed and without having to do any work, really. Maybe it's an $800 gig where you just doubled what you paid for that photographer off of those 2 edited pictures, just showcasing yourself in the best light of what that brand or that designer wants to see.
So it's betting on yourself.
Definitely. No investment in yourself in this industry is a bad investment. I don't feel like if it's your style, if it's your hair, if it's your skincare, teeth whitening, whatever it is, keeping your hair and nails done. I know we all love a girl's day. That's always my excuse to make sure I look good. But yeah, I think no investment in this industry into yourself is a bad investment.
Yeah.
Not new heels, not anything, because you're trying to get to a new level, not buying new black jumpsuits or anything you might need for casting calls. Definitely booking great photographers for your photo shoots. So yeah, it's betting on yourself and all in at sometimes, right?
I'm inspired. I'm about to go buy a new suit. No, but you're dropping gems. Like I don't think I like that you said it because, like I said, you're the professional right now, and so I think some people out there, when they hear you say that and you hear you speak to it, you're giving them basically the path to success. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to have you on the shows because, like I said, I think your story can inspire the next young model looking to get into the industry, but they just don't know how, right? And so hearing you speak to your journey and how you got started, I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Oh, thank you so much.
So before we let you go, there's this game I like to play. Some people may know it. I'm going to have you pull a card. And I have no control over what type of card you're going to get, but we're going to have you pull one and we'll have you answer the question. And,
okay.
I think it'll be interesting no matter what the answer.
Let's see what I get. Let's see. Let's go with this one. If your entire family had to move to a new country, where would you pick to move to? Okay. This is hilarious because when they see this, they're all going to know the answer before I even say it. We would move to Africa. We would move to South Africa specifically. Was it last year now? It feels like forever ago. No, December of 2023, we all went to South Africa together for a whole month.
Wow.
So we really got, that was now my 3rd time out there, maybe 4th, 3rd time. I've taught abroad and then I just went to visit and then just had that trip. So it would definitely be Africa, and we're all trying to game plan how to get over there in some way. So
That's
Africa
amazing.
would be my answer.
I gotta go.
Yes,
it's on my list.
I think everyone should make it to Africa at some point. Any part of Africa would be great.
Okay.
Experience.
So before we let you go, we want to tell the people where they can find you and how to get in touch with you, social media.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at bfrex with 2 underscores after it. I am working on building out a YouTube channel and some other things. It is kind of under construction as I'm trying to process all my content that I just got back and things like that. So it is under construction, but follow me on there and I will keep you guys updated on what's to come next and when the TV show releases.
I can't wait to see it. Thank you again for coming on the show and sharing your story. Like I said, I think it's an amazing one, and you have my full support.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. It's been great.
Great. Thank you to all my viewers and supporters out there. I hope you enjoyed another episode of Everyday Amazing with Sky Alton. Be sure to follow me on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, I'll see you then.